Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we will be doing a guide on Lightning Max. So, out of all the characters here, I might slow down on the guides, low-key, because there are a few characters I don't know how to play, like Fubuki, haven't mastered her, Lily, alright, her potential's not maxed out, Iron, maybe, Snek, genuinely don't know how to play him, and then he's just too bad to be having a guide for. Not the character, it's literally just the damage output that I have on him. It's just not working out. Maybe him though. Definitely over Golden Ball. I do not know how to play Golden Ball. And then, so, who do we have? We have a My Mask. Oh, not My Mask. Lightning Max. My bad. So, he's currently Merit 14. Could have some work on him, but he's pretty decent, and I'll get over him real quick. He's actually a pretty good character. If we go to skill list here, his core mechanism is the first thing we're going to talk about. Basically, he gains gunpowder through his Q, and then you get up to 6 stacks of gunpowder that can be accumulated, and it basically enhances like all of your abilities, right? So for his first M1 here, he has a 6 strike M1, and you will use 1 click to spend 1 bar of gunpowder, and then cast a high speed pursuit, which is basically the zigzag attack that deals damage to 160%. It can be used repeatedly if he what's it called, it can be if he consumes more gunpowder. So if you have a maxed out gunpowder, he can do these dashes for a long time. So for example, he has these kicks, but then after he's done those kicks, he will go into his zigzag phase, right, where he'll just do a bunch of zigzags. As you can see, max gunpowder, now he's going to start doing these zigzags. They're all right. I feel like they miss a lot of the time, so I don't really like them very much. Firepower loading is a 12-second cooldown ability for his Q. Basically, he'll have a zone that pops up, and then he's going to stomp when you click Q again. So the goal of this ability is to click within the orange or yellow. So it has to do a lot with timing, and it takes a little bit, but after around like 20 minutes of gameplay, you'll get his timing down like guaranteed. So once you've got it, the more bars it has, the more firepower it gives you, the more gunpowder it gives you, and that's going to translate to more DPS because that's what his attacks are powered by. So for his lightning kick, it is a 10-second cooldown. It is basically, I'm going to call it an initiation attack. It basically closes the distance between you and your enemy. You'll dash forward and you'll kick the enemy. For 360% of attack, you'll get a 6% damage bonus for 1.5 to 6 seconds depending on the dash distance. So I'm pretty sure it scales with how long the dash is. So the longer the distance, higher effect it lasts. It's pretty decent. This attack can be chained with high speed pursuit. So once you use this, you can just start clicking, spam clicking, and it'll do more, right? So this is a decent ability. It does give you a 6% damage bonus. So they're basically implying that you should use this before any other attack. So yes, it is an initiation attack. You basically just use it to aggro against the enemies and close distance. So now here's his damaging move. This is kind of like the equivalent of Spring Mustachio's E ability, except it's in his R. And basically what you do is you kick the target, and you spend gunpowder to briefly gain invulnerability and continue kicking the target. So you can use R again to keep spending more gunpowder and gain the invulnerability again and refresh the duration of the kicking, right? And it can be repeated up to 4 times, which is very, very solid. Basically how it works is there's a bar that slowly goes down, and right before it ends, you're going to click R again, and then click R again, and then R again, and R again, until it runs out. And that's going to make you deal the most amount of damage. So it kicks the target for 300% of attack. You can use R again and again and again, like I said. As you can see, all these other stats, I just kind of won't talk about that too much. Now we have his dodge. His dodge is alright. It's kind of a little bit slower, I've noticed. He does a weird jumping animation, which does make it very clunky. But yeah, there is that. And his pursuit skill's pretty solid, and his ultimate's pretty decent. So now that we know his skills, let's get on to his potential. First of all, you have, of course, gunpowder. Damage dealt by normal attacks will increase by 25%. So this is basically encouraging you to have a full set of gunpowder at all times. P2 is penetrating eye level limit 1, which is very solid, as well as damage bonus provided by E lightning kick increases to 20%. So instead of it being 6% now, it's actually a very big damage boost. So you want to always be using your E at long distance ranges rather than close distance. Now 4, Mind Reader level limit +1, pretty solid, kind of builds on his crit. When the fire pack loading cursor lands in the orange zone, the damage bonus increases to 20 seconds. so you actually get more of a DPS buff. So basically you want to use Q, timing, and then E to close in on the enemy. So you basically want to run away, then click your Q so you're safe, and then you want to go E, close distance, and then attack him with your R. So as you can see here is P6, single roundhouse kick, hits the enemy more than 40 times, actions, next 6 seconds won't consume gunpowder, which is very solid. So basically he just kind of revolves around gunpowder, and that's going to be kind of the way how he's going to operate. So we're going to go to memories and wills. He doesn't have the best wills, nor does he have the best memories, but I've been working on it, and I've been really trying to build him. I'm going to say it right now, it's really difficult to build on this guy because he doesn't want to cooperate with me. He just doesn't. And, you know, he just doesn't really want... Oh, God. He doesn't want to have a good build because it's kind of weird. Like, he just doesn't. So, this is obviously his yellow flash ability card, and I do not have a... what's it called? I don't have a gold affix on him because I chose some other characters. I didn't really like Lightning Max at the time, but actually, now that I think about it, he's actually pretty solid. I've noticed that he does do really well, and he does a lot of damage. He's a killer. So I'd like to just show you guys how you can actually get value out of this guy, because I got some tips a while ago that actually really helped me operate on my keep saying on my Lightning Max to and make me pilot him much better. So as you can see, my cards don't really give too much, but you have 3 penetrating eye, 3 out of 4 mind reader, maxed out yellow flash, as well as my 2 other yellow flash affixes, and then a purple blatant strike for 20% more crit rate. I'm basically just building a little bit of crit rate here, so if I hit him with blatant strike, I would have around 52 crit rate, which is alright. And then of course they can always be buffed. So he's honestly a pretty easy character to build on if you have his right stuff for him, which will mean it's not really a struggle. But as you can see, I have a lot of other impassioned or assault characters that I have to prioritize for, so this guy is kind of at the bottom of the list of the priority, so he does get kind of snubbed. So let's go right into his combos, because I know he can do a lot. So the best part about my mask, or not my mask, I keep saying that, I don't know why, Lightning Max, right? Max, it sounds similar. It's basically, he gets invulnerability, so he can't actually get stopped when he's doing this. When that R move, he can't get stopped. So that's very solid. So let's go over his DPS. First of all, this is his 6th set of M1. It's 10k damage, which is pretty good. I'm gonna max out my gunpowder now. As you can see, 16k DPS is much more. Now I'll put into the yellow. As you can see, less DPS, right? Same thing goes with the E ability. This is close range. That's a crit, right? And if I go farther off, like here, it does do slightly more. I think that's just damage variation. I don't think that really matters. But here's the yellow, 19k, and then here's the orange, which is 18k. I don't know if it changes. I don't think it really does. But his down slam, I've noticed, doesn't do much damage. It doesn't do any at all. But yeah, there's that. Now we're gonna go for one set of his kicks. That's his kicks, 20k, right? Obviously he's coming out of the range though. That's one set of gunpowder, and then here's the other set, 30k or 20k. So, but the thing is, if you max out the gunpowder, you can do some shit like this, which will give you a whopping 48k DPS, right? And that's just if you're spamming it. You can also do this. Which, yes, it does give quote-unquote less DPS, but it's actually missing like half of his hits. So I'm actually getting more DPS and more overall damage. As you can see, I'm missing a lot of my attacks, which proves that, yes, if you hit all your attacks, you will do more damage. But if this guy was getting knocked back, I'd spam my Q right when he gets out of range, like this. Or right when he gets out of range. That way I can get an insane amount of DPS. Alright, so there's a couple other things like the M1 right here. Here's the zigzags. I'm gonna keep doing it until I run out of gunpowder. This is for yellow. There, 18k damage, not bad. And the question is it better than the regular M1? I think slightly, because of the 10k damage. But yeah, you can see it's really doing a lot. And I'm also always critting for some reason. I'm not hitting random crits. But yeah, there you go. A lot of damage per second as well. So basically how you would like to start this battle off is you're here, right? I'd say backwards dash, Q, right? Charge at the enemy, and then go for your R, obviously. Like this. And of course dodge when you have to, but you get a lot of immunity, just know that. So once you're done that, you're gonna see I still have max gunpowder. Once it runs out, then I'm gonna click Q again. And then by the time that's done, I'll have my R ability, which I can spam again, right? And then of course you can use your E move as a regular attack. But it's alright, I guess. Like, the DPS from your M1 isn't too different. So you can just kind of keep, you know, spamming this stuff. And you want to always use your R right when it's available, because it is one of the best abilities in the game. In terms of DPS, it is a very, very solid ability. And I'll tell you this right now, it does a ton of damage. A lot, right? And that's a whopping amount of damage considering that my Lightning Max, I keep mixing up his name, basically has only a 5.6k attack, and he's really getting a lot of DPS. 60k is a lot, right? So now we're going for impression arms. I kind of forgot about this, but at the same time I didn't. I'm running his SR arms. Obviously, his SR arms are the best. Basically, you want to be running this because he is an attacker. He is a positive critter, right? So basically his composure reduction is useless, and his healing is alright. It's good for him if you keep dying in battle. It really does help you out. But I'd recommend his attack, right? His attack SR is better, as well as the debuffs or the buffs are really solid. Crit rates for firepower after firepower loading, so it actually gives you a lot of crit rate. So if you fully max out this guy, you're looking at a very high crit rate. Not only is it 60, but you're getting a lot of buffs with it. Plus, if you run Blatant Strike with him, you will be getting a lot of DPS, right? So, let's just say I have this, right? This could be 1, 2. I could have 1. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more affixes, right? So I could go 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5 for like, let's say, sneak attack or something, right? Or maybe impassion, right? 4, 5 impassion, or 1, 2 impassion, right? Which would be really good. So how you'd want to actually build this guy would probably be first of all the yellow flash, then penetrating eye, then mind reader, and then blatant strike, or impassion, right? Which would probably be maybe better. So I haven't actually seen someone fully build on him, but he actually does do really well, and I'm surprised nobody really mains this guy, because he does do a lot of damage. So I'll show you guys that in a fight. We're going to go against Pluton here. And yes, he is a frail character and he's only 10k PL, but he will perform. He will perform. I can guarantee you that. So, actually we don't have many Plutons. So we don't have any Plutons. So we're going to go for this. We're going to go select Tatsumaki as Zombie Man. And maybe not Zombie Man. He's kind of bad. We're going Genos here. And this is going to be our team, right? So Silverfang's going to keep us in the battle. And then Composure Break and DPS with Tatsumaki and Lightning Max to kind of level out the battlefield. Now I'll show you what you can really do. Okay, I kind of got yellow there, which is bad. But I do have... I did get the yellow. But I do have Super Armor. Super Armor is very, very useful for this ability. So Lightning Max actually has a lot of super armor with his dodge, so that's why you're going to need a heal card, because he might die really quickly. But the super armor is in fact a benefit for sure, because you don't get knocked around as much, so you can just move around freely, stress free. As you can see here, okay, he kind of dodged that. Okay, we're gonna ignore that. We're just gonna keep attacking. Okay, now finally he gets knocked back. Usually, Mosquito Girl hits a lot of knockback. but for Lightning Max, he's doing a really good job. And he's kind of not, I don't know, and he's like, kind of like weak against Mosquito Girl maybe? I don't know if it's just Mosquito Girl. Because he's kind of dying. And, you know, he is a dieable character because he does have no super armor. Or he does have super armor, but that's a bad thing. Because once he gets crit, he can't really stop taking damage. As you can see here, he's just taking an absurd amount of damage. And, you know, can't really stay in the game. So I think the one thing I'd build on this guy is defense. I wouldn't build it exclusively, but I'd definitely say it's recommended. Because as you can see, I got absolutely plowed. But I did do a lot of DPS, and I know this, right? So we're going to try Pluton Commission right here for tier 16. Where is he? Pluton right here. Pluton, again, a damaging boss, but he will prevail. Lightning Max will do good. So, I'm going to get some damage in with a kick. He does take also reduced damage when he's in his R ability, I believe. But I want to try dodging this guy. And again, his R is basically best used if the boss, you know the boss's moveset, right? So Lightning Max, yes, he is a pretty easy character to play, but he's also skilled in a way where you have to memorize the boss patterns to get the most out of his R. So I'm gonna go quickly grab Gunpowder here because I can't attack him anyways. And now I'm gonna reduce the distance by dashing at him. Nice. Now I'm gonna dodge. I don't want to get hit. Here we go. We're gonna get hit. We're hitting him. We can teleport to the boss, kind of. Okay, we used up a heal though, so that kind of means trouble for Lightning Max. Okay, so we're doing alright. He's gonna jump into the middle. No, he's not. Okay, he's not dead yet. So we're gonna go Gunpowder here and then jump at him. Now he's gonna go because we forced him in there. Nice. So we're gonna jump at him and we're gonna use his R. So as you can see, I am taking damage, but I can also hit the boss in return, which is definitely punishing him, dealing an insane amount of damage. But yeah, definitely, he's one of my bottom two. Yeah, I feel like I am very confident this guy's gonna do well. Like, I feel like he's just good. He's just so good with his DPS. Like, he's a very good attacker. So if you actually build on this guy, you can manage to get a very good, of course, what's it called, attack and damage, right? So I think you can really get good damage here. And he does belong on an assault team. So if we were running the ideal assault team, it would probably be Zombie Man, Tatsumaki, Fubuki, and then Lightning Max. As you can see, even though he's only 10k, he's still running it really close to Tatsumaki, Genos, and Silverfang here. And he's really cutting it close, right? Which is really good because he's only at a 5.6k attack, where the other characters on my team, like, for example, Tatsumaki has a 7k attack, max crit. Or, for example, Genos has an 8.5k attack, and Silverfang has a, 11,000. So, that is something very cool to note, and I really do think he's actually a pretty good character. So I'm actually going to run this team instead to see how the damage varies against Carnage Kabuto, another boss. So, here I'm going to go for this, and I'm going to dash right at him. He's going to go for this charge, so there's that. We're going to go for this as well. We're going to dodge it, because obviously we can't tank that. And I don't want to get Koma'd. We're going to go for Gunpowder again. I'm going to charge right at him. And the zigzags, again, make me really hard to hit, which is really good. And he kind of runs circles around the boss. As you can see, the boss kind of just missed. We're going to keep kicking and kicking. I do have super armor against this guy, so I can't actually tank a lot of his attacks. So if you build armor on Lightning Max, it's actually pretty difficult for him to get fully punished for just pushing the boss. And And that's what I kind of like about Lightning Max, is a lot of his moves can recover from dodge, can be cancelled with dodge, but also can just be stuck. It can just be stuck. So, obviously you don't want to use your charging move right here for the gunpowder in front of a boss, because they'll just slap the shit out of you before you can get your timing. But his dash is pretty good. His M1 makes him very hard to hit, and his R obviously does a ton of damage. Like that, and it can teleport to the boss, which can help you so the boss doesn't fully dodge your attack. Like this, and then again, very good, no heals needed. We're clearing out the boss really quickly. And there you go, composure break, and he's dead, right? 1 minute 34, not bad for a kind of half-assed team here. But yeah, he's doing a lot of the job right now. And Saitama obviously had his arms, right? His arms, so that's why he's up here. As well as Tatsumaki did really well because she's a ranged character, and Metal Knight also is a ranged character who is great on AI. But I'd say Lightning Max did very well. He's a very good character, and I believe that he can, if he's built properly, can actually shred. Because, as you can see, this Lightning Max is like bottom 3 characters here for PL. And only 5.6k attack, whereas you compare to even Lily, 6.4k, 6.6, 7.5, 8.2, 6.6, right? This guy is like a whole 1,000 behind. But if you can get that up and get his crit rate up, which I will try to do because he's a solid character, like I said, he can really shred. So I'm going to try to build on Lightning Max. He's a very solid character, and I hope you guys play him because he is available from the very start of the game to, of course, endgame, and I think he can be run in Maelstrom really well. So I'll really try to use him because he's a very great character. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody, and have a great day.